This is KCAH 7:30 AM serving Southern California from San Bernardino. My name is David Nate and welcome to the news. Today is March 4, 2021. This issue will cover important political topics in the United States. In the topic of healthcare, a reform package is working its way through Congress. This bill will reform the healthcare system of the United States. Among the reforms are measures to streamline procedures, reduce the cost of medical equipment, lower the cost of prescriptions, improve Medicare and Medicaid, improve the insurance system, and improve regulations. In regards to streamlining procedures, the bill will reduce the cost of surgeries and medical actions. This means that more power will be given to hospitals and doctors when it comes to pricing of procedures. Essentially, insurance will not be allowed to determine price of procedure, hospitals will. In regards to reducing the cost of medical equipment, one of the main issues with healthcare is the overcharging of medical necessities, such as saline, as well as equipment such as CAT scan machines. In the case of saline, hospitals charge between $100 to $500, when saline costs $1.07 to produce. This bill will make it illegal to charge more than 5 times the price of production for bandages, casts, saline, etc., and 2 times the price of production for larger equipment like MRI machines. In regards to prescriptions, the bill will require makers to match prices with average household income and inflation level, and charge low-income households no more than 10% of their annual income. In regards to improving Medicare and Medicaid, this is the most controversial part. The bill will nationalize all of Medicare, from Part A to Part D, with the exception of Part C. Part D is the most corrupt part of Medicare, with reports of waste, abuse, fraud, and other actions being rampant. The bill also gives Medicaid and Medicare the power to negotiate with makers for prescription prices. This part is controversial because people are fighting for Medicare Part D, the part of Medicare that remains private, to stay private. People are fighting for Part D to remain private, as they claim that market competition will lower prescription drug prices. Part D has proven that it has been mismanaged, and that it is one of the reasons why prescription prices are high. The bill will create 2 parts, Part E for vision, and Part F for dental, which will be part of Medicare, with hearing being made part of Part B. Medicare will have boards of management in all 50 states, to manage the state branches of Medicare and to improve quality of service. In regards to improving the insurance system, the bill will create a national insurance, called Medicare for all who want it, for those not on insurance. In regards to improving regulations, the bill will overview all healthcare laws in the country, to abolish redundant laws, reduce bureaucracy, and make it easier for people to get insurance. This bill is expected to save $700 billion from cut bureaucracy, and reduce the federal deficit by $297 billion over 10 years, maybe more. President Steele is asking for an overall healthcare budget of $3,800 billion, which will cover all federal healthcare programs, plus a potential national insurance option. In the topic of education, the House is working on a bill to reform the United States education system. Some of the reforms include changing the way students are educated, teaching students to their potential, focusing on development and not so much on memorization, focus on community, focus on students who need help the most, hiring better teachers, and upgrading facilities. In terms of changing the way students are educated, schools today teach students in a way similar to what was needed in the Industrial Revolution. That does not work well now. The teaching of children in unchanging, repetitive batches, does not prepare children for the modern day. This kills the desire to learn, and dulls the mind. In terms of teaching students to their potential, this means taking an interest in students and discovering what their abilities, talents, and interests are, and how these can be fed and used to better the students, and help them find good employment. In terms of focusing on development, this means teaching students writing, reading, basic math and science, and skills they need to do well in life. Currently, students memorize a whole bunch of stuff, such as algebra, geology, and other subjects that, while good, are not necessary in everyday life. They learn this without understanding why they need to learn it. This bill will allow students to be more flexible when it comes to their learning, picking subjects they want to learn more deeply, while also learning the basics. The education bill restructures the education system to focus on equal opportunity of education for all, personalized learning for all by focusing on abilities, strengths, weaknesses, and talents, introducing supportive technology to improve the quality of education, including special needs students in the classroom, making teachers more autonomous, and partnering with state and local authorities, teachers, parents, students, and business leaders, to make the education system more adaptable. If this sounds familiar, this is part of Finland's education system, which is why the country does so well in education. This bill also cuts education bureaucracy, by reducing administrative staff while increasing teacher numbers. President Ninsteel has requested $800 billion for the education budget. In the topic of infrastructure, a package is being discussed to improve the country's infrastructure. Among the needs of infrastructure are upgrading highways, railroads, airports, and waterways, improving electrical grids and water systems, and upgrading of cities. The bill will spend $6 trillion over 10 years to upgrade the nation's infrastructure, or $600 billion every year. Thank you for listening.